How the first letter was written. Now, before we begin the lesson, I want to tell you a small story about Betty, an 8-year-old. One day, she took a piece of paper, lying down on the floor in her room with her legs dangling in the air. She started writing on a piece of paper. Her mother passed by and saw Betty writing and scribbling on the paper. So she asked her, "Betty, what are you doing?" So Betty says, "I'm writing a letter to Tom." So she says, "You're writing a letter to Tom, but you don't know how to write." So she says, "No problem. I don't know how to write, but Tom doesn't know how to read." And so this lesson is something like that, about the first letter that was written by someone who didn't know how to write. How the first letter was written. Once upon a most early time was a Neolithic man, and he lived cavily in a cave. And he wore very few clothes, and he couldn't read, and he couldn't write, and he didn't want to. And except when he was hungry, he was quite happy. His name was Tegumai Bopsulai, and that means man who does not put his foot forward in a hurry, a lazy man, a laid-back man. That was Tegumai Bopsulai. But we, O best beloved, will call him Tegumai for short. And his wife's name was Teshumai Tevindro, and that means lady who asks a very many questions, a very curious lady, a very inquisitive lady. But we, O best beloved, will call her Teshumai for short. And his little girl daughter's name was Taffimai Metalumai, and that means small person without any manners who ought to be spanked, who ought to be given a slap, once in a way because she was a brat. She was a naughty little girl. But I'm going to call her Taffy. And she was Tegumai Bopsulai's best beloved, dearly loved daughter, and her own mummy's dearly loved daughter. And she was not spanked half as much as was good for her, and they were all three very happy. Now, attend and listen. One day, Tegumai Bopsulai went down through the beaver swamp to the Vagai river to spear carp fish for dinner, and Taffy, his daughter, went with him too. Now Tegumai's spear was made of wood with a sharp tooth at the end. Now before he caught any fish, he accidentally broke it. He broke his spear by jabbing it down too hard at the bottom of the river. Poking it into the river too hard, he broke his spear. Now they were miles and miles far away from home, and Tegumai had forgotten to bring any extra spears with him. "Here's a pretty kettle of fish," said Tegumai. "It will take me half the day to mend this." Pretty kettle of fish meaning, oh, what a messy situation. We have come here to fish. We want to take carp fish home, and I don't have any spear. Because in those days, in the Neolithic age or the Stone Age, they did not use fishing nets or a fishing rod. They used to take the spear and jab it into the fish. That was how fishing was done. So without a spear, how will he catch fish? So he says, "Oh, here's a pretty kettle of fish," meaning, "Oh my, I'm in a very, very messy situation." So his daughter says, "But there's your big black spear at home. I'll run back to the cave and ask Mummy to give it to me." You know that they lived in a hollow, in a stone, that is called a cave. So she volunteered. She says, I'll go running back and I'll go and ask mummy to give it to me. So her father says, it's too far for your little fat legs. She was a young girl, okay, small one. Yeah, besides, her father was frightened that she would fall into the beaver swamp and be drowned. The swamp, meaning a marshy land full of animals called beavers, and because she was a small girl, maybe she would fall into that and she would have been, pulled into that marsh and be drowned. So the father says, we must make the best of a bad job. Now, this is a messy situation. Let us make the best of it. I can't send you back home. He sat down, took out a leather mendy bag. Mendy means mend, meaning to repair. So he had a repair bag. A bag containing all the things used to repair a spear and the things used, if anything goes wrong while they are fishing. Now his mendy bag was full of reindeer sinews. Those are tendons from, from the reindeer used to, tie the shark's tooth or the tooth to the spear. You can see this in the picture here, those reindeer tendons. They didn't use any thread, but the tendons from the animal called the reindeer. It also had strips of leather. It had lumps of beeswax. Now, beeswax are substances secreted by honeybees and used to make the honeycomb. Now, that is for sticking. They didn't have glue and Fevicol in those days. And using all this, using resin, which is, the sticky substances formed from some things which ooze out from plants, some sticky things that come out from plants. All these things got in those days were used to repair his spear. Taffy sat down too, with her toes in the water and her chin in her hand, and thought very hard. She's thinking, how can we get away from this situation? Then she tells her father, I say, Daddy, it's an awful nuisance. It's so annoying that you and I don't know how to write, isn't it? If we knew how to write, we could send a message with someone for the news spear. Just then, a stranger man came along the river, but he belonged to a far tribe, the Tevaras, and he did not understand one word of Tegumai's language. They both spoke different languages. He stood at the bank, this is the bank of the river, and smiled at Taffy because he too had a little girl daughter of his own at home. Now, Tegumai, he drew a hank of deer sinews from his mendy bag and began to mend his spear. Drew meaning he took out from his bag. A hank of deer sinews is a bunch of deer sinews, and he began to repair his spear. Come here, says Taffy. Do you know where my mummy lives? And the stranger man says, Taffy's calling him. She wants to talk to him. But because languages are different, the stranger man just says, Silly, said Taffy, and she stamped her foot because she saw a shoal of very big carp going up the river just when her daddy couldn't use his spear. Now, shoal meaning a group of fish. Lot of fish going by, carp fish. And she was so upset and she says, silly, we are in a situation, so many carp fish going by and daddy doesn't have his spear. Don't bother grown-up, said Tegumai, so busy with his spear mending that he did not turn around. So Tegumai is telling her, leave the grown-up alone, leave the adult man alone. And he was so busy that he didn't even turn around. I aren't, said Taffy. I only want him to do what I want him to, and he won't understand. Taffy says, being the little naughty girl that she is, a little brat, she says, I'm not bothering him. I'm not troubling anybody. I just want him to do what I want him to do. And he won't understand. Okay. So this is the animal called the reindeer, which we are talking about so much in this lesson. Then don't bother me, said Tegumai, and he went on pulling and straining at the deer sinews with his mouth full of loose ends. Don't bother me, meaning don't trouble me, said Tegumai. And he went on pulling and straining, forcing those deer sinews round the spear and using his mouth and his hands at the same time. The stranger man, a genuine Tevara he was. He was a real Tevara belonging to that Tevara tribe. He sat down on the grass and Taffy showed him what her father was doing. The stranger man thought, this is a very wonderful child. She stamps her foot at me and she makes faces. She must be the daughter of that noble chief, who is so great that he won't take any notice of me. So he smiled more politely than ever. So Taffy is trying to show him what her father was doing. But since the stranger man doesn't understand her language, he thinks to himself, oh, this is a very wonderful child. She must be the daughter of that great chief over there. Okay, that chief is so busy so great that he doesn't even turn around to look at me. So therefore, now he smiles more politely at Taffy. Okay. Now, said Taffy, I want you to go to my mummy because your legs are longer than mine and you won't fall into the beaver swamp. And ask for daddy's other spear, the one with the black handle that hangs over our fireplace. So she is giving him orders now, even though she is a small child, telling this big stranger man, I want you to go to my mummy. I can't go. My legs are fat and small. Your legs are longer. And you won't fall into the beaver swamp. These are the two reasons her father gave her that she cannot go back home. So she tells him, you go. You ask for daddy's other spear. And the other spear is one with the black handle. And it hangs over the fireplace. A fireplace used in houses to keep warm. Now the stranger man thought, this is a very, very wonderful child. She waves her arms and shouts at me, but I don't understand a word of what she says. Okay. At the same time, he thinks to himself, if I don't do what she wants, I greatly fear, I'm afraid that haughty chief, haughty means arrogant person, superior person who is not even turning behind because he's a big man, the man who turns his back on callers. I'm frightened. If I don't listen to his daughter, he will be angry. So he got up and twisted a big flat piece of bark of a birch tree. A birch tree mainly grows in northern regions and it gives good timber or wood. So he goes to the tree, picks out the bark from the stem and gives it to Taffy. He did this, best beloved, to show that his heart was as white as the birch bark and that he meant no harm. Meaning, he gives it to her in peace. Don't have anything against you. I just feel peace towards you. But Taffy did not understand. She was a young girl. She was not going to know that the birch bark, which was white in color, was meant to show that the stranger wanted to be at peace with her. She misunderstands totally. Oh, said she, now I see. You want my mummy's living address? Of course I can't write, but I can draw pictures. if I have anything too sharp to scratch with. Please lend me the shark's tooth of your necklace. Now she says, oh, she misunderstands totally. You're giving me this because you want me to write my address, but I can't write, I can only draw. And I can only draw if I have something sharp to scratch and on the piece of bark. Please lend me. Please give me that sharp tooth which is in your necklace. Now the stranger man, and he was a Tevara. No? Again and again they are telling you that he was a Tevara all through the lesson, meaning that he belonged to this tribe of people and he was not very clever. So he didn't say anything. He didn't want to give his, the necklace. So Taffy put up a little hand and pulled at the beautiful bead and seed and shark tooth necklace round his neck. This necklace with a sharp tooth. This is a very wonderful child. Now the more Taffy is doing things and talking to him, he keeps on, feeling that she's better and better, more a very wonderful child. Now, why did he say that? Is because the shark tooth on his necklace was supposed to be a magic shark tooth. And someone told him that if anybody touched it without his leave, meaning without his permission, they would immediately swell up, become big, increase in size, expand in size and burst. But Taffy touched his necklace, touched the shark tooth, but she didn't expand in size and she didn't burst like a balloon. And that important chief, the man who attends only to his business, who has not taken any notice of the stranger at all, doesn't seem to be afraid that his child will swell up or burst. So now he feels that these are very special people, Taffy and her father. One is the great daughter and one is a great chief. So he thinks to himself, I had better be more polite. Now, why did the stranger's admiration for Taffy grow? Why did he admire her more and more? The stranger was told that if anybody touched the shark tooth on his necklace, they would burst. Taffy touched the shark tooth and did not burst. So the stranger's admiration for her grew. Let us revise. Who is the author telling this story to? The author is narrating this story to his best beloved, that is his readers, you and me, whoever is reading the story. Why had Taffy stamped her foot? What did the stranger make of it, or what did the stranger understand when she stamped her foot? Taffy stamped her foot because she saw a shoal of very big carp fish going up the river, and her father couldn't use his spear for catching them. Now, she stamped her foot, and the stranger thought that she was the wonderful daughter of a great noble chief. Why did the stranger offer Taffy a big piece of birch bark? The stranger offered Taffy a big piece of birch bark to show that his heart was as white as the birch bark and that he meant no harm. We will continue this lesson in the next video.